Hey everyone, Jersey Streamer here. Today I'm going to be giving a preview slash state of the game for Crowfall. This game, if you're not familiar with it, is an MMORPG due out in early to mid 2019 would probably be my best guess. The devs had originally said 2018, but I'm pretty sure they've also already said that they're going to miss that mark. So, in most of this video, I'm just going to be walking around. I'm looking for solo PvP. I really hadn't sought out PvP. It kind of just happened around me at times, um, because I had been focusing on like crafting and harvesting, which is one of the main reasons that I really love the concept of this game, is the crafting system and the harvesting system. But in most of this video, I'm just gonna be kind of wandering around doing random stuff, and I'll try to like highlight, you know, what's going on if something important's going on in the video. But I'm also going to clip in a few things as I explain different things. So you're about to see right here some combat. It's action-oriented combat, and this is something that kind of turned me off at first. As somebody that doesn't really like playing first-person shooters and just action-oriented combat games in general, it's not. Let me rephrase that. It's not that I don't like them. I'm not good at it, and so I get frustrated. So at first that really turned me off, but I have to say that the combat system in this game is really fun. You're about to see me fight the skeleton here, and I'm not particularly good at comboing and all that stuff, but it still feels, looks, and just sounds really fun and cool. So, I mean, you can see here, like, the animations all look pretty good. I'm playing an assassin right now. Um, so the animations all look really good. The sound is, pretty good as well. And it just feels really good. Like landing, in this case with the assassin, landing those kicks to stun the enemy for a little while and run behind them to backstab them. It's just really fun. I would have liked to pull that off on a player here maybe, but I just couldn't find one. So, you know, here I'm gonna stealth again, and then I just kind of wander off. But this will give me some time to talk a little bit about the core concepts of this game. So, this game is a fully player-driven economy. So, what that means is there's NPC vendors, and you can certainly buy some items off them, but everything that is considered, I guess, quote, good in the game needs to be created by a player. You can only get, it's got like the quality scale, like, all the other MMOs do. It's got gray is poor, white is common, green is uncommon, blue is rare, and so on. So you can only buy, right now in this state of the game, you can only buy up to white tier or common tier items from vendors. Everything else above that must come from a player. Um, there's not going to be, at least this is what the devs say right now, so don't quote me on it a year from now. The devs say right now that there's not going to be like loot drops from, creatures where like you kill a wolf and then it drops like a blue sword of, insane damage. Um, that's not going to be in the game. You must get your weapons and armor and everything from a player that has created them. On that subject, you'll have Eternal Kingdoms, which is something that I'm going to cut to right now. Alright, so here you can see I've hopped over to the Eternal Kingdoms, and I've started mine up. So you can actually browse and like go to different Eternal Kingdoms, and as long as like people have allowed your access, either by inviting you or setting their Eternal Kingdom to public, you can just go to them and like check out their vendors and stuff. But so I'm gonna enter mine real quick. Mine's pretty basic at the moment. I just kind of slapped some things down to just give it a test for the most part. So let me spam some food here so we don't have to deal with. There we go. Okay, my health is regenerating. So this right here is my Eternal Kingdom. You actually start with just that right there, that like statue. It's a temple area actually, and you start also with this big rock right here, which is actually a crypt, which is where you can kill your character and create a new one. So you start with those two, and you can't build anything on them. But as you get more parcels, which are these things, they're just chunks of land, and you can see like they all have different descriptions, right? That's a woodland grove parcel, which is a grove of trees. Woodland hills, creek, shires, which is one of the early ones you can build on, hamlet, farms, and there you can see like the crypt, and this is actually the temple. So you can freely just move these around however you want to organize them. You know, like I could make an island out here, but you need a way to get to it too, so I could like do that. And so it's not water out here though, it is just a, I guess, like white cloud of nothing. So I think this concept is just really cool, like being able to organize your stuff however you want and kind of like just build your own little kingdom. So this is like, I've built this house here as my like crafting, my main crafting hub, I guess you could call it. So if I come up here, get stuck on that top step, and you can see I've got like a couple crafting stations around the table. I got alchemy, I believe this is rune making, and leatherworking right there, and that's just a general crafting table. So like the rooms and all the houses have like these different plugs for them that you can put down the crafting tables in, and like, so I can't like, this has to go right there. Not the leatherworking specifically doesn't have to go right there, but whatever crafting table I wanted to put in this area has to go in that exact position, which is, I guess, less than ideal, but at the same time, like, this whole system is so cool that I'm just willing to accept that. And the locations aren't bad. Like, sticking one in the corner up there looks pretty cool. Sticking one underneath there looks pretty cool. Like, the locations are pretty solid. And so you can actually see, like, there's a whole nother room over there. It's not very big though. And then I'm actually going to run over here, and so like this road wasn't built. This is actually part of the Shire parcel that I'm on. You can see in the center of the screen there, it says Shire parcel. So I'm going to run over here and show you a couple of the other buildings I built. I put up these walls. I just wanted to toy with them. It's not at all complete. You can see it ends right there. But in here, I've got 3 little houses, and you can see they each have 1 crafting station in them. So that's a necromancy one, which is something that I will show you. Well, not really show you, I will talk about, because it is real necromancy, not the fake crap that we see in all the MMOs. I've got a crafting station there, and then there's one more in there. I'm going to hit I here and just show you something. So each one of these parcels comes with a set number of tokens right here. Extra small is used for crafting tables and vendors, which is something that you can also plug into these structures, and it creates a little vendor stall, and you can sell whatever you want in there, which is freaking awesome. Small, an example of that is these houses. Medium is an example of that is some of the bigger houses. I actually do not have one. Large would be the manor, which is the other house that I was at a little while ago. And also, this right here is a throne room building that is also counts as a large building. So this right here, this half walled off area is 1 Shire parcel. So you can see there's no small slots left right now because I've used all 3 of them on these houses. And there's no large slots. There's normally 1, but it is taken by this. And also, I would normally have 5 extra small slots, but right now I only have 2 because I have 3 crafting tables down. So I just think this concept's really cool, and I'm going to just kind of wander out here so you can see more. These right here are going to be the farms. I could put a little cottage on each of them at some point, which I probably will. And I mean, you could just like see in the distance all the other stuff. Like that's a woodland grove parcel over there. You got the hills back over there in the distance. And I mean, it's just such a cool concept to be able to like build your own kingdom. And in release, you're gonna have to pay taxes um, on like however many parcels you own. So like as you could see, I just had like a bunch randomly thrown down that don't really serve a purpose. I'm not gonna do this during release. Like you know, a couple of these serve a purpose. Like these three here have buildings on them. The crypt is a necessity to be able to recreate your character or make a new character. This is a necessity. But outside of that, like I'd probably do a woodland grove, a woodland creek, and a woodland hills just because that's a good spread of resources. You get the trees here, and then you get some rocks and minerals from the creek and the hills. But so that's pretty much it for the Eternal Kingdom here. It's a really cool concept, and just being able to like put down vendors and stuff, like it's gonna be so cool. I wish I had something to show you right now, but um, I don't have the gold yet to buy one off somebody else since I cannot make them myself just yet. Um, it's just gonna be so cool to like walking into somebody's town and see like all the shops they have set up, and there's already actually a couple Eternal Kingdoms on this test server that are set up with like vendors and such, and it's just really cool, right? Like you go there and they're well known because they have a ton of vendors, and people go there and they're like, oh, I need, you know, whatever. I need an axe, and they go check out this other Eternal Kingdom that has vendors on it, and they go buy an axe from one of them. It's just an incredible concept in my mind, and this is one of the reasons that I'm really excited for it. And so, real quick, I just wanted to kind of talk about necromancy here because this is another thing that really excites me. So, necromancy is not going to be, oh, I summon undead pets and do disease damage or life drains and stuff like that. Necromancy in this game is actually you stitching together body parts to create new vessels, which is actually, the character you're playing in the game. You are actually just like a spiritual crow, and you kind of, I guess the best word for it is possess these vessels, which is, this character that I'm playing right here. And so you possess them and then you use them. But the necromancy lets you actually create better vessels. So say I wanted my assassin to be stronger, right? Granted, I would have to like start a new assassin and not use the one that I'm currently playing. But what I could do is I could come to this necromancy crafting table, as long as I'm skilled enough in necromancy, put all these parts together and give myself like bonus dexterity and whatever other stats I really want to make my assassin like super strong, and craft them, and then I've created a vessel that is potentially better than whatever I've got already running, right? Like so I've got my Fey assassin that you saw a video of earlier in this video, and I could make another Fey assassin, but have crafted it with necromancy, and it'll have better stats. It will just be, at max level, at level 1, it'll just be better to the comparable version that you can just create at the start of the game, which is so cool. So you can you get quality vessels as well. So the ones that you start with, or you just create, like this character right here is just a created character, from the character creation menu, are white quality. You can create green quality vessels, blue. You can go all the way up the tier until you have like this insanely powerful vessel. And that doesn't mean insanely powerful as in it'll just stomp, every non-vessel in, every vessel that is not as good as it. It just means that you've got a little bit of an edge. Having a couple extra points of dexterity maybe gives you some more damage, but it's not like a massive jump. And you don't have to do dexterity. You can, make a knight and just have a vessel that has tons of strength or constitution. You can have like crafting bonuses on them, and it's really cool because you actually craft it body part by body part. So you can like take an arm that you've dug up from a grave and add certain things to the recipe to make that arm stronger in certain ways. And that's the part of the crafting system that I really like, is that different things affect different attributes. Like for example, if I was making a runestone hammer, which is, or sorry, no, I think it is a runestone hammer, um, which is what you use to harvest rocks. If I was making one and I made it with tin and silver, as opposed to whatever other minerals I had on me, um, you actually get plus or a bonus chance to get gems whenever you're hitting rocks. So like it's just so cool to have the options. Like, oh, I really need gems right now. Like, let me use tin and silver, and it's actually on a pick, not a hammer. Sorry. Let me use tin and silver on a pick, and I get a bonus chance to find random gems out of ore that I'm hitting. So it's just really cool to be able to kind of craft and tailor things on the fly like that. All right, and now back to me wandering around relatively aimlessly here. So in the background here, you can see this tower. The tower is actually one of several types of capturable points strewn across the map. There's towers, camps, forts, and keeps. The camps and towers are mostly just like little rest points, I guess. They do have these ranger guards at them that will help you, if you drag an enemy back to them. Like if somebody's PvPing you and you need a little help, you can run back to one if you're close by, and the rangers will start shooting at the enemy. But it's cool to be able to capture those little points and just have these little points of control. The keeps and forts have crafting stations in them, which is important because you cannot actually change from you cannot transfer, I should say, transfer items from your campaign, which is this right here, to your Eternal Kingdom freely. At the moment, you get 100 imports and 100 exports, and what that means is you can transfer 100 items from your Eternal Kingdom to your campaign, and vice versa. You can transfer 100 from your campaign back to your Eternal Kingdom. Both of which are important, so if you're on your Eternal Kingdom or you're on somebody else's Eternal Kingdom and you're crafting something or buying something, you have to use one of those imports to get it to your character in the campaign, which is where it really matters. And the exports are important because the campaigns end. In the bottom right of the screen, you can see it says 24 days and 22 hours. That is how long until this campaign ends. So each campaign will have a winning faction. One of the 3 factions will win. You can see like the slider bar at the top center there, just below the compass. The left and red is chaos. The yellow and center there is balance, and the blue and right is order. So chaos wants to swing that bar all the way to their side, order all the way to their side, and balance wants to keep it somewhere in the middle. So the campaigns will have a winner, and whoever wins gets potentially good items and just useful things in general that they probably want to keep for the next campaign. So you want to use your exports at the end of the campaign. Take whatever your best gear is, or whatever stuff you don't want to lose. Drop it in your spirit bank, which is the way you transfer between the two, and transfer it to your Eternal Kingdom. This way, you have it for the next campaign. But then again, just think you're going to be using an import in the next campaign to drag those items back down. With all that stuff said, I do kind of want to touch on some of the problems the current build has. So, I don't know if you can really tell in the video right now, but there's some optimization issues. Like, I'm running around and the frame rate is just like jumping all over the place. A little while ago, it was dipping into like the 30s or 40s, I want to say. And like you can see that when I'm walking around and it's fine, I'm somewhere up, by like 60 to 70, sometimes even higher than that FPS. And you can see the FPS actually up in the top, or I guess top middle left. Um, it's that the little green numbers there. So that's obviously an optimization issue since my FPS is normally pretty good. And, I'm not saying that my setup is perfect at the moment because I'm actually in the market for a new computer. But when I'm consistently getting 60 to 70 and it's dipping all the way down to 40 and 30, that's 99% of the time that's some kind of an optimization issue with the engine itself. So we've got that. And then right here, you'll see another one of the problems. And for me, this has only happened whenever I kill animals, is I'm currently trying to harvest it with the skinning knife. And sometimes it takes a little while to let you damage it. But in this case, it's actually not going to let me even harvest it at all. That's just like a little kink in all honesty, and only happens with the animals for me. The only other thing that I've noticed with the harvesting like this is sometimes you get these little locations that pop up that will give you like a critical damage hit on whatever you're harvesting, which is beneficial because then you take it down a little bit quicker. And those little icons to pop up that trigger the critical hit, sometimes you can't hit them because they're like off of the object that you're actually trying to harvest. So like if I was harvesting a tree and the critical hit thing appeared to the right of the tree and I swung at it, I would just miss the tree entirely and not do anything. I wouldn't get critical damage and I wouldn't, even damage the tree at all. But I'm trying to think of any other issues. So there's another issue where I've noticed that like players, like other players within the game, their character stops having, I guess, body animations, and like they just become this cardboard poster. Like they're not running. This cardboard poster, I guess, shimmying around the world. I don't know. I really don't know how to describe it. It looks ridiculous. But it is what it is. This is early alpha. There's going to be problems, and you kind of just gotta take that with a grain of salt and hope that the devs are going to fix that, which I assume they will. They can't have like people in a PvP game. We can't have people running around as posters. That would just screw up the entire experience. There's also been an issue with the general chat, which is super laggy. This bringing up this map takes way too long, especially like the first time you bring it up. Once you bring it up once, it seems to load quicker the successive times you do it. But bringing up the map the first time is just like you wait ages for it, and like if you're not a stealth class and you're in the middle of enemy territory trying to kind of get your bearings, you're screwed. Like, the map's going to take so long to get up. If somebody finds you, you're screwed. Outside of that, I really haven't run into many like, oh wow, this is a serious problem with the game. Melee combat is a little funky at the moment. It's just like with the dashes and stuff that you could see me periodically using here. It's hard to get somebody stuck in melee. That right there was a dash. It's hard to get somebody stuck in melee, which is kind of why I chose an assassin, because they have like a bunch of lockdowns, like stuns and knockdowns and stuff like that. That's not to say it's completely broken. I have been able to like PvP people and stuff like that. Whenever like I just randomly wandered into some PvP, it wasn't like a complete mess for me all the time. But it's definitely something that needs some work. And the Eternal Kingdoms also, I believe, are getting some sort of revamp, where I think the grand idea is to get higher tier resources available within the Eternal Kingdom. So you're gonna have to earn them some way or create them. You're not just gonna get freebie like, oh, farm everything you've ever needed inside your Eternal Kingdom and never have to worry about PvP. But at the same time, I think that being able to earn higher tier resource spawn points within your Eternal Kingdom will really help people that want more of a PvE experience, since this is mostly a PvP game. They can do like most of their farming and all that stuff within the safety of their Eternal Kingdom, and then, hop out into the campaign and PvP on their own terms when they're ready without, having to worry about somebody ganking them all the time while they're trying to harvest. There's also more parcels, more variety of parcels that'll be coming to the Eternal Kingdom. Crafting is going to get a complete overhaul. I believe the devs have been saying in 5.8, which is the next patch, or 5.9, which is the patch after that, obviously. The world is pretty barren at the moment. There's only spiders, wolves, and elk, and the skeletons as well. There's going to be more creatures added as time goes on, and it's just going to be a much more well-populated and diverse world as they develop more and more. And here in the distance, actually, as I walk up to this, you'll see this is one of the enemy's forts that is built up. So like when you take these forts, the walls aren't built. You actually have to like build them yourself, which is another cool concept. This way, like when you first take it, like it's vulnerable and you've kind of got to build up its defenses. But overall, like I want to say that the state of this game is good, and I say good with keeping in mind that it is early access, and or not early access, sorry, early alpha. I keep wanting to say early access. It is early alpha. The game has progressed a ton from where it was when I initially started trying to play it, and I think from here, like, things are only going to get better and better, and that really excites me because a lot of the concepts in this game are really cool. There's one other thing that I wanted to touch on before I end this video, even though I'm not sure exactly how this is going to turn out for release day. So I'm going to cut real quick and I'm going to go over the... Alright, so here is the initial skill tree, or skill screen I should say. We're not looking at a tree just yet. So this is with VIP Active, which is going to be like the monthly subscription service. And before anyone panics, VIP Active and being able to train 2 of these skills per category at once is not pay to win in any way. It just gives an account more versatility. So let me explain exactly how that works. So I'm going to kind of jump back here. So within Profession, you have these 3 different tracks that you can do. Combat, self-explanatory, right? You've got, access to bonuses in your weapons and your armor. Crafting, you can pick any of these crafting things. So rune making is like your tools for harvesting stuff. Stone masonry is where you build all of your parcels and structures and crafting tables. Alchemy is alchemy. Necromancy I've gone over. Woodworking, blacksmithing, leatherworking, jewel crafting. And then you also get mass production, which lets you build factories and partially automate some of your crafting. So you've got all those. Exploration, this is where you get kind of bonuses to harvesting. So you can go down here and get, wood or like leather and meat specialization, or stone, grave, this is for necromancy. And then you've also got this command tree. So just as an example, I'm going to hop in one of these, and you can see it's got a slew of different abilities. They are all like that. Look at all these abilities. Alright, and to get to the next tree, you've got to like progress. So to get to excavation, I've got to unlock this. And to unlock that, you can see these like gray dashed lines here. I need to fill those up. You don't have to... So you notice like this has 5 levels potential and I only have 4, but this one is unlocked because it's only got 4 of those lines. And like here, you can see 4 lines, so I need to put 4 levels into tracking to get to enhanced sprint. 4 levels into enhanced sprint to get this, and then here I will need 5 levels to get this. So you don't have to get every skill in every tree. I've just kind of been sampling whatever skills I felt like sampling. So how is this not pay to win? So I can only train in 1 tree at a time. So you can see here, I'm currently training in alchemy, right, which is right there. if I came down here, you see it says I cannot train. I haven't unlocked any of these, so those don't matter, but I can't train in crafting basics, which is the prerequisite for alchemy and all of these. So once I've locked myself into here, I can't do it again. And so like the only thing this will mean is if you're not VIP, you've got to decide what you're going to want to do ahead of time, right? Like you can say, I'm going to be a crafter, and you want to decide, you know, which tree you're going into, and you want to just go straight for that and stick with that. If you want to be combat, you want to come here, pick a tree, I'm going straight for that, right? The VIP lets you do two, so the only advantage I'm really getting here is like on this account, which I'm focusing in crafting, is I'll also be able to get a little bit of a bonus to harvesting because I've got the explorer tree going as well. So I'm just more versatile, right? Like it's not pay to win because I'm not stronger. I'm just able to do more things. Race down here. So these all have their different trees. These last ones here are actually the races you get to pick. And I think it's really cool how they've broken this down. Like, if I wanted to play a Minotaur, right, I start spending some points in Monster here. I can increase their stats. Then I can come up to Hybrid, increase their stats some more. And then I go down to Minotaur and finally get like these final stat increases. And these stat increases will only apply while you're playing whatever race you're playing, right? Like, so if I was playing a Stoneborn and I had all this monster, hybrid, and minotaur skills, the only skills that I would get while playing a Stoneborn are the ones from monster, since it actually, you know, is before it in the tree here. Like, I can follow the path back to monster. If you can't follow the path, you're not getting the bonus. So if I was playing a Centaur, for example, I would get the hybrid and I would get the monster, but I wouldn't get the Minotaur bonus. And then we also have class down here. So these are the classes you can currently do. Got Knight, Templar, Champion, Myrmidon, Confessor, Frostweaver, which is not yet implemented in the game, Cleric, Druid, Ranger, Assassin, and Duelist. I'm not sure if this is going to be the complete and utter final count, if I can speak. And you can see that these skill trees for the different classes are not even fleshed out at all yet. So, outside of that, I mean, I like the system of, you know, having to pick, like, oh, I want to train in crafting basics, so let me hit select here. You can see it changes, and then as time goes on, I skill up, which means I don't always have to be on, and I'm still progressing, right? Like, I'm not going to have the gear, and I'm not going to be crafting stuff all the time, but I'm not completely falling behind. I think this is a cool way to do it. This is like a very EVE Online, if you've played that. It's a very similar system. I just think that the trees are a better system than just like the random kind of... I mean, I guess EVE breaks it down into trees too, technically, but this is just so much more organized and easier to deal with than EVE's system. At least the last time I played, I know it's been overhauled quite a bit pretty recently. So that's pretty much it for skills. I believe there's going to be changes to this system, but I think this is like the general concept they're going to stick with, so there shouldn't be too hefty of a change. So finally here, I just wanted to give, I guess, kind of a rating for how I think the game is currently and how I think it's going to turn out. Currently, I would say it's probably sitting on a scale from like 1 to 100. I'd probably give it like upper 70s, like 78 or so. I would give it higher than that. It's just like, you know, the obvious. I'm not taking into consideration that it's early alpha with that rating. Like, it's docked down to 78 because of the bugs and, you know, just everything not being fleshed out. However, if I take into account that it's early alpha and I think more of the general concepts instead of, you know, how much of those concepts is actually implemented right now, I would say that rating goes to probably somewhere in the low 80s, or sorry, somewhere in the high 80s, maybe low 90s. There's definitely still some things that I'd like to see changed, or like to see the devs talk about changing at least. But as a whole, I think this game is going to be a really good and just super fun game to play for a whole slew of different people. Like, I got drawn to it for crafting. I know one of my buddies got drawn to it for the PvP. And I know another buddy got drawn to it just to make his own kingdom. Um, and there's other things you can do too. You can do a mix of those things. You can, you know, try to focus more on PvE if you want, even though, there's going to be more PvP content than there's going to be PvE. It's just going to be, you can like make a merchant and just sell a bunch of stuff. There's going to be so many options, and I'm just so pumped for this game to come out. If you are not already aware of it, I would definitely go check out some YouTube videos. It's just, you know, it's going to be really interesting. At least really interesting. If anyone likes MMORPGs and you have not checked this game out, just give it a look, because it does look really, really interesting. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. When I guess more patches come out, I'm going to try to do more Crowfall content here. But this will probably be it for now, since the game really isn't complete yet. I don't want to be running around judging it just yet. So, have a good one.